Someone else comes?
No.
Okay. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidanandamurtaye Nisprapanchaya Santaya Hiralambaya Tejase Sankaram Sankaracharyam Isavam Vadarayanam Sutrabhasakritam Vande Bhagavanto Punaha Punaha Ishvara Gururatmeti Murtiveda Vibhagine Vyamavad Vyapta Dehaya Sri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Sri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Gongurubhyo Namaha Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So today we are the 9th day of Navaratri. Same time we are continuing our study on the yoga philosophies today. Not the Vedanta. So today we study yoga philosophy. And today is, I think, Thursday, right? So yeah, today is Thursday. So tomorrow we study Vedanta. So 2 days we'll study Vedanta, 2 days study will Tantra, and 2 days we'll study Vedanta. But somehow this week is like that. When you study Shiva Sutra is part of, we have to take it like a Shiva Sutra is Shiva Sutras. Then in Yoga philosophy study, we have to study like Yoga Vasishtha plus Patanjali Yoga Sutras. And Vedanta topics, whatever comes. Either there are many subject like Tattvavada, Atmabodha, Vivek Chudamani, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, Gita, so like so on. Sankhya philosophies, these are the Vedantic topics. Tantra, about Tantra Darshan, Tantra Shastras we are studying. Whatever study, we are studying all the classicals. We are not studying Tantra like black magics, like people do. Because black magics is good to prevent sometimes to ourselves, but it does not help us to final liberations. I'm not going to certain topics in this platform about this black magics today, and that is not my subject. But sometimes this black magic, the tantra, the negative tantra, actually it does effect for our human common lives. But if you believe it, but if walking path of Brahman, Jatma Jnana, it does not affect you, but it can affect. In case you are Brahman Jnani, if you have some relatives, disciples, and so on, they can be affected by the black magic because they don't have this kind of Brahman Jnana. So, subject is Yoga philosophy today, the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, and we have been studying various topics. And today we are going to study the second chapter of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. The second chapter of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, we have been studying Avidya Asmita Ragadvis Avinivisa Klesaha. That we have been studied thoroughly until the sutra number 9 or 10, no? 11?
10.
Until 10. So today we are going to study the sutra number 11. Dhyana hi astad abritayah. Say dhyana. Say dhyana. Dhyana means meditation. Heyah that are destroyed. You say dhyana heyah stad britayah modification. Their modification are destroyed by the meditations. What does that mean? So continuity of the meditation, continuity of the dhyana yoga is going to help you how you can free from the all kind of modification, all kind of karmas and samskaras. Dhyana hi astad britayah. Titanam to बीज भाव pagatanam. ध्यान ही astad britayah. क्लेशानम या बृतयः स्थूलासम क्रिया योगेन तनुकृतः सत्यः प्रसंख्यानेन ध्यानेन हतेभ्य यावत् सूक्ष्मीकृता यावत् गत बीज कल्पायति यथा च वस्त्राणां स्थूलो मलः पूर्वं निर्धूयते पश्चात् सूक्ष्म यत्नेनोपायेन वापनि यति तथा स्वल्प प्रतिपक्षा स्थूला बृतयः क्लेशानां सूक्ष्मास्तु महाप्रतिभा इति. स्थितानां तु बीज भाव भगतानां. This is when, however, they exist as a retaining their seed power, their modification are destroyed by modification, by meditation. So britis are some many britis one can destroy by the meditation. It's very interesting in Buddhist day, Lord Buddha, he said that I meditate, I do dhyana. So during dhyana, during meditation, during samadhi, so many karmas comes and goes. But sometimes he enter into such a higher samadhi, then he said, "O mind, O karma, O maya, is not possible again. You can touch me. Again, you can touch me." Because that means once you attend the samadhi, you enter into such a techniques. You are entering such a skills, you are become master of the mind. It means you are witness of the all stages of the mind. And you are going to observe and witness the root cause of all suffering and miseries. But sometime, as per you study Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the first chapters, you need to attain the highest level of the samadhi where you can free from, all kind of samskaras, karmas. So continuity of the meditation will help you how you can free from the modification of the mind, the britis. They say klesana va britayah stulasta kriya yogena tanukritta satyah prasankhyanen dhyanena hatavya yavat sukshmikrita yavet gad bija kalpa iti. They say that klesano ya britayah, the modification of the afflictions, the modification of the miseries, which are essential or attenuated by the yoga of action, and having been attenuated or destroyed by the high intellections of the meditation, so that they are render potential. Their speedy power is at is where born of. So you can the high intellect of meditation, intellections of meditation, the higher samadhi, the higher meditations, where you can bond all your samskaras, even the seed powers of these samskaras. So this is yathacha vastranam stulo malaha, yathacha vastranam stulo mulaha, purvam nirdhyate pasat sakhma yatnino paena, means when you are cleaning the cloth, what you do is as the gross darts of the cloth as is art first second up. If you have the cloth you want to clean, how what to do? If so much darts, you make second the cloth second. And when second the cloth, what happening? The old darts are goes away, and there is still the fine darts are there. So what you do? And then the fine dart is washed up by effort and appliance. There is small part, there fine darts are you can clean also. So the gross essential modification need but small antagonist efforts, where the potential ones need very powerful antagonist. They say Purvam nirdhyate pastat sakhma yatnena payanava apyante apiniyati yatha swalpa pratipakyaha stula britayah klesana sukhma mastu mahapratikya. So like that. So once you clean the gross part of your klesas, the gross parts by meditations, all kind of the surface level of our difficulties, the sufferings and miseries, then only you can enter into depth level of the subtle modifications, subtle klesas, the afflictions. Then only you can free from all kind of sufferings and miseries. This is the meaning. So by meditation one can free from the all kind of classes, all kind of classes. So then, am I clear this now? Could you hear me? Could you hear me?
Yes, Swamiji.
Good. So now sutra number 12. In my audio, they say connects to the audio. I don't understand this. You can hear my sound, Atmanand, clearly?
Yeah, very clear. You're fine. Just
But
keep
why? I have something, my video say that connect to the audio. Yes, I'm checking that.
I had
I
the
have no
same,
idea.
Swamiji. I had the same, but it's gone also.
This is from mobile.
Technology. The technology. So I have no idea.
It's the reason I don't work with mobile. Just keep continuing.
Okay. But they, without, because I don't have proper camera on my computer. So therefore, it is like that. When I go computer, it does not brings good. But before I used to use the computer of Shiva Puja when I used to teaching. So it was clear photographs. Anyway, it is a life.
Okay.
So, Sutra number 12. Klesa mulaha karmasayo drishta drishta janma vedaniya. Kleshamulaha karmasaya drishta drishta janma vedaniya. Kleshamula. This is the Kleshamula vedaniya. I tried to check just a moment. Just give me for a moment. This is Kleshamula karmasya drishta drishta janma vedaniya. I tried to get the reference. Klesa, the miseries, the affliction. Mulaha, root. Karma, action. Asayo, reservoir. Drishta, seen. Present. Adrishta, not seen. Future. Janma, the birth. Vedaniya, to be experienced. The storehouse of karma, which is the root cause of afflictions, is to be experienced in the present and future births. Is the vehicle of actions as its origin in afflictions, in different translations, and is experienced in visible and invisible births. They said in this sutra there is a reference to the law of karma and reincarnations. Klesa mula, the root cause of suffering. Karma sayo, the storehouse of the karmas, which is the root cause of afflictions, is to experience the present and future birth. Karma se drishta drishta janma vedaniya. Drishta drishta. Drishta means seen. Adrishta means not. Drishta means seen or present. Adrishta means not seen, the future. We can't see something. In this sutra, there is a reference to the law of karma and reincarnations. They say here the vehicle of good and bad actions is born of lust, avarice, forgetfulness, and anger. It said that in the past, present, and future birth, we can see the afflictions, past, present, and future. It means that one's karmas are caused by the afflictions and with the suggestions of the karmas, and possibility is finished. But so long as the afflictions are there, they keep on giving experiences in the present and in future births. Very interesting. So what they say through meditation, so what you are experiencing, you can destroy all your modifications, the breaths, the karmas. But what you are experiencing, you are experiencing the karma, the past, also the future. But so far, it means that one's karmas are caused by the afflictions. One's karma caused by the afflictions, and with the suggestion of the karmas, the possibility is finished. So that means you have to learn how to free from the karmas, how to free from the afflictions. We must learn the cause. There are two things here. It means that one's karma are caused by the afflictions, of course. Due to cause of the karmas, we are suffering, right? But same time, we can be free from the karmas if we are cease the karmas. But how to cease the karmas? One should know the root cause of the karmas, right? Am I clear that when you go to doctor, what? Because how we can get the medicine from the doctors? How can free from the diseases, the sickness? So doctor are first find what kind of disease, but what the root cause of the disease. So like that, it's called diagnosis. Through meditation, you are going to diagnosis, right? You are going to diagnosis the root cause of your karma, not only root cause of your sufferings. Why the karma? Then suffering comes. So first you have to understand what are the root cause of the karmas. So let very beginning to free from the karmas, then naturally, and you are free from the miseries as well. But so long as the afflictions are there, they keep on giving experience in the present and future births. Say that, what is that again? If so far we have misery, so far we have difficulties. For example, you are suffering with any sickness. But what happening is giving experience. The present, the all difficult, the miseries, but also it brings, we think for the future. This sickness may leads me to die, maybe leads me to more suffering, maybe it leads something else. So we think too much. But it is the habit part of the mind, the nature of the mind. Sometimes you try to get out of the miseries and not creating the present difficulties and sufferings, and not also future as well. But sometimes you are unable to avoid, you are unable to not to suffer. So what are the problems are there? It means we are not really entering into the proper samadhi, the proper meditations. The dhyana, the meditation is help you in order to avoid the all kind of root cause of sufferings, or the free from the all kind of modifications of the breathings. They say this is because every individual has to undergo the effect of the past karmas. Say this is because every individual has to undergo the effect of past karmas. But if the karmas are to be annihilated, it becomes essential for one to go back to their source, namely the fivefold afflictions that we have been studied. What is fivefold afflictions? It's a raga, already studied. Avidya, asmita, raga, this abhinivisa klesa. This is the 5 afflictions. It is a two-way process. The karmas cause klesas, and the klesas gives rise to the fresh karmas. Very interesting. So what happening? It is a two-way process. The karma cause of klesas. The karmas are caused because whatever is suffering, it is because of karma of the past. Karma of the past. And the klesas give rise to the fresh karmas. And whatever you are suffering now, it is make you rising the karma. It does not let you to be free from the karmas with the fresh karmas. Once accumulate fresh samskaras, and then those samskaras once again strengthen the cause of afflictions. With the fresh karmas, again, what happening is creating so much samskaras, and that leads to the what? That leads to the sufferings in future, right? So whatever we are suffering now, because of the samskaras of the past karmas. We have, for example, this life, we have so many kind of associations. And we go through this, natural. Every human goes through this. Whoever born this planet, even you are born as God, even you are born as incarnations, even are born as a common beings, we all are go through these karmas and afflictions, right? So, like Lord Buddha, he was sitting on a tree, meditating so many days. Even he gave up his food. He could not eat for long time. Long. Right? Sometimes we think we can attend samadhi. We can attend samadhi without proper efforts. Sometimes people said me, Swamiji, why do Panchagni, the ascetic life? What do you get it out of that? People said me. I was smiling, but I could not say nothing. Even some few of my intellectual disciples, intellectual disciples, it was the time they study with me very positive. Even they used to participate in my Panchayat, but today they have a cross questions to me. Some other gurus. So what I mean, what the loan? So what I mean here, ascetic life, it does help certain extent for the proper strong determinations. And you can see that the yogis, the master, the gurus and saints and sages, in the past times, in many civilizations, they're meditating for 1,000 years, 1,000 years, without eating. They keep meditating, like Valmiki Rishi, the saint, the sage Valmiki Rishi. What he did? He did meditation, end of the day. He became, the whole body was, around the whole body was built. The body was built by the only sands. And finally, the body entered into, and sands are around the whole body. That's called Valmiki Rishi. Balu means the sand. So he was meditating, even if forget his Annamaya Kosha. Of course, that kind of strong karma, I don't have this life. I do certain extent this Panchagni. So like Lord Buddha, he was sitting under tree so many days, so many months, he could not even eat. So you can understand. So we have to take the ascetic life in positive perspectives, So they have such a strong determinations, strong sankalpa, strong convictions in order to achieve the enlightenment and free from the all karmas. Free from the karmas. There are certain yogis you can see, and master, they're meditating in deep meditations, so many days and years and years. Even today, some yogis, some master gurus, even they're meditating in the cave of the Himalayas, even you don't know. So we need that good karma. We need to have strong conviction for Atmagyan. Right? What I'm saying that, of course, everybody cannot make such efforts. So here they say that, the Sutta number 11 say that you have to make the proper efforts. Jnana hiya tatta britaya. In your proper actions, proper efforts, proper, and the action of your Kriya Yoga. What you study? Tapa, Swadha, Isvara, Pranidha is the Kriya Yoga. This Kriya Yoga leads to all the way and to purification of Chitta and then attainment of Samadhi with the proper knowledge of Viveka. Awakening of the Viveka is essential. Otherwise, we can practice any kind of yoga, the Kriya Yoga for 1,000 or million years. If there are no proper Chitta Suddhi, not proper purification of the chittas. There will be no proper attainment of the samadhi. He may meditate for samadhi, he may meditate for longer times, but still you are in suffering state. So therefore, one must integrate the science of yoga and tantra and Vedanta, three things. Tantra is all about to complete surrender to the higher divinity, to the master, to ourselves, to unknown. Yoga is about how to union the individual to the higher self, to understand Jivatma, Atma and Paramatma. And Vedanta is all about proper understanding, positive understanding, awakening of the Viveka, and Vairagya means total renunciation, total dispassion. Then you can enter into proper Momaiku, proper freedom. So therefore, Sutta number 12 is clear now. So let to understand how we can free from the karmas and not to create the samskaras. Because the samskara is the seed of the root, the samskaras are the seed of your classes, our karmas. And this samskara leads all the way to the next life. But it's a hard job. We study everything every day, right? As I say, that is a hard job. Now, we are going to Sutra number 13. Sati mule tadipako jayayo voga. You say, Sati jatyayur voga. Sati mule, so long as the root is there, so long as the root is there. Tat it, vipakaha, refining, jati birth, plus, ayuha, span of life, experience. So long as the root of a karmasa is there, is repents and gives birth and class, span of life and experiences. The sati mule tadipako jayai bhoga. Sati mule, so long as the root is there. So root is there means the root of karma is there, is vipakaha, refining. So long as the root of karma saya is there, is refine and gives birth and class, span of life and experiences. Actually, the subject is keep continuing. So what happening? They explaining by meditation, one can free from all kind of vrittis, the modifications of vrittis, and one can free from the karma. But how this karma is there, how the classes are there, how the samskaras are there. So you have to learn properly, systematic, so that you can put into your discrimination, the viveka. So you can really work out what the real and unreal. So long as the root is there, the tree should flourish, and if the tree is not disturbed, then it must also refine. This life is the tree, and the afflictions are its roots. If the root is cut, that is the fivefold afflictions are won over naturally. This great tree of life would become lifeless. It is clear, right? The life is tree. This life is tree. So what does this life is tree and the afflictions? The miseries are these roots. And if the misery is all difficulties, or of stress and strain and sufferings, if the root is cut, the root of the tree, if you are cutting, what happened? The fivefold afflictions are won over. So we can free from the avidya, asmita, raga, dvesa, vimsa, we can be. So what happened? It will not produce any fruit. Life is nothing. Life is a nothing but birth, span of life, and different experiences. So what you do? So what happens? We get rebirth. So what we are experiencing? What we are experiencing? We are experiencing of a And you already understood what you experience in this life. We are suffering from diseases. We are suffering from sickness. We are suffering from the miseries, obstacles, cancers, many kind of sickness, sometimes stress and strain. And then you are studying what? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, and Madhya. The 5 things also makes us sufferings. So it would not produce any fruit. And life is nothing but birth, span of life, and different experiences. The experience are the 3 kinds, namely enjoyable. Sometimes your experience very happy, are very pleasurable. Then what happened? Some experience very much painful in your life. Painful. Sometimes I sometimes tell you, even on this in this platform, sometimes I say that look, I'm not feeling so good. Sometimes it brings me sadness, sometimes very painful, but at the same time, it makes me happy. So what happening? Then another mixed up. Sometimes it's kind of a mixed experience. So these are the experience life. These are the experience that every individuals are experiencing, that we are also experiencing as well. That you also experiencing as well. And even we study all kind of yoga philosophy, Vedanta philosophy, Tantra, even you go to and sitting under the gurus and study everything, but still, and still, we are suffering, still we are miserable, right? We are not far from that. So therefore, we need a lot of hard work to be done in order to be free from all kind of suffering and miseries. Sometimes I never hide. As when I say in this platform where I'm teaching to my disciple, student, devotees, audience, I say, look, even I have also certain difficulties in my life. Sometimes I smile with the others, but sometimes really, sometimes we play the roles, play the drama in the society as a guru, as a master, as a disciple, as a beloved, as a brother, sister, friend, so on. Sometimes the reality of our sufferings we see are very few in our life, very few, right? Because sometimes people take you very negative, people take you weakness, they're never going to help you. Sometimes you say, I have no money, and I have no food, and I want to build the ashram. Nobody really want to help you. If I say that I'm suffering miseries, what kind of person yogis? He have his problems, difficulties. How he can be master and a guru to help us, right? You understand what I mean? So many people even not approach you. Like sometimes you go to doctors. Doctor know the what kind of medicine you need to cure yourself. But sometimes we are simply judging outside. Is it the doctor is suffering? How can he help me and give me diagnosis my difficulties, give medicine to be cured? But sometimes really we become negative doctor. We never goes to doctor and get the medicines, although he is the best doctor. But sometimes you are judging from outside. If doctor is sick, maybe he's not unable to give the right medicines to us as well. Similarly, so as you are guru and masters, I find out some kind of disciple that took me sometimes very negative way, very negative way. But in India, what you do, if the gurus have certain difficulties, I'll say, of course, we always help them. Always to help our gurus and masters, so that they can be, we pray for them to be healthy, so that it can guide us. So that is the Indian culture perspectives. As a European perspectives, what you do, most of the time you're judging outside, right? You're judging outside, weakness. So that is your culture. But Indian culture is totally different, right? What I'm saying that? So that is how you choose. That is how we choose. But so if you love someone, you always remember, need to help and strengthen the weakness of your beloveds. Maybe your father, maybe your mother, maybe your husband, maybe your partner, maybe your teacher, maybe your guru, maybe your disciple, whatever. So this is the real love. The most of the time, what you do, we run away from them. We run away from them. You run. Even for example, our parents angry sometimes react. but we run away from them. But if a really good child, so you must help your parents how to, why they're angry, to know, to help them, to reduce their anger, to help them their difficulties, the root cause of their angers. Like a child sometimes cry, child cry a lot. And a mother, what do? Mother not throw the child out of the house, right? As your parents, what you do? You try to understand why my child is crying. Why? What is the problem of my child? You try to understand the difficulties of the child, right? You not take your child and throw out of your house. You do that as a parent? No. Especially mother never does that. And mother try to understand why my child is crying. When after 5 years, 8 different. When below 1 year old, before 6 months, a child cry and cry and cry. And mother try to understand the child, right? Similarly, when you love someone, when you want to love someone, what you do? You must help the weakness of that person. That is the real love. Strengthen the weakness, but not run away from that. So that is the real love. Most of the time, as we are individual, we speak about love, life after life. We speak through the scriptures, through the intellect, right? We give many lectures about love, but really, we never practically apply in our life to experience that love, to help to others also that love. We have to start with this love, not for the whole world. For love, we have to start to ourselves, not only ourselves, from the surrounding you are, your master, your teacher, your father, your parents, your sister and brother, and your colleagues, right? Your companies, your workers. You have to learn that. That's the real love. I sometimes try many times. With my all workers, I try to understand them. When sometimes they're angry, I try to go to their depth level. But sometimes I was unable to actually go to their depth levels. Because I personally don't understand myself. So like that. So you have to understand yourself, but at the same time, try to understand, like motherly, you have to be motherly. If not motherly, actually, you're never going to experience the love within yourself and never going to help others. But generally, due to our personal desires and agendas, personal emotions, due to our personal kama, krodha, lobha, maha, and madhya, then we are unable to understand the love and unable to help to the others. And when you help to others, you have to find how. You have to be wise enough, like a mother, to be wise enough to help a child like 5 months, like 6 months. That you have to find if someone will help, right? If you really want to help someone, the weakness of others, but you have to pretend you are the wise, you are the mother, and your child is very much innocent, like 6 months, nothing, only can cry, can react, can throw. Sometimes a mother gives some kind of milk, or even 1 year the child mother gives some food, but the child throw everything out. Child don't receive anything, simple cry, simple react. That you saw or not. But there is other difficulties as well. So that is how you nurture yourself to find the inner love. Similarly, what you do when mind is react, so you have to be wise enough. You have a lot of viveka you need, and you need a lot of viveka. What happened? You need vivek to understand the miseries. Misery means reactions of the mind, the breathes. And you have to be mother of yourself. And you have to awaken this viveka, understand the mind, understand your breathes, understand your karmas and samskaras, where it is. Right? And help that weakness of your mind, the breathes. So in this way, you have to have drashta bhav, right? Witness. Today, It was the time, afternoon after the Kanya Pujan and Bhandara. That just few sadhus came, not a lot, because today also few children come, because due to function of in India, it's not many. But some a lot of worker also. We prasad them, we celebrate our Navaratri. But somehow, after all celebrations, I feel so since long time I did not eat, but somehow today due to prasad, I take very little. Then what happened? I feel immediately so uncomfortable. I feel like my body have no energy. I find sometimes I feel a little bit temperature in the bodies. I just rest. I was thinking today to cancel the class, but I find out no. So then I just I switched off my mobile. I don't receive anything. Then I was a relaxed witness of my mind, I try to observe my mind, how it is. And when it's 6, I was say 7:45. Come, I told already boy, when it's 7:45, please let me know I have the class. Then he came to me, already awake, but still, I'm not staged to take class, but I was a witness. So what I mean here, we have to learn how to witness. That is very, very important. Very, very important. So if a witness of your mind, the witness of mind means witness of the breaths. And witness of breaths means witness of the sufferings. And witness sufferings, witness of the karmas. And witness of the karmas means witness of your samskaras as well. Am I clear that today I'm speaking about a little bit practically how you can help yourself to observe your modification in the mind and observe your miseries and sufferings. Very practical. Today I'm not reading like only the lines like the Yoga Vasishtha or certain things, because some stories we have to go through that. They say that experience are 3 kind of, namely enjoyable, happiness, painful, some difficulty and mix. That what we are experiencing. And every day I do experience as well my life. The span of life may be long or short. The birth is a particular country, society, or a family is called jati. They say sati mule tadipako jayatru bhogaha sati mule. So long as the root is there, tata it vipaka referring, jati means birth. So birth doesn't matter. The span of life may be long or short. Sometimes your life maybe 10 days, maybe 10 years, maybe 100 years, maybe 50 years, maybe 70 years, maybe 71, whatever. The span of life may be long or short, but birth is a particular country, society, or the family is called jati. All these are 3 things are the fruits of the karmasraya. So very important. Karmasraya. They say karma asraya. Karma asraya. So karmasraya means karma. Karma means actions. And asraya means reservoir. They say karmasraya. Karma means the vehicle of the actions. Okay. So let us see. So what I mean, the span of life may be long or short. It is very important also. You see, the root cause of a suffering is very important, which country was born. What kind of society, what kind of association you have in the past. Associations are very important. But generally, we don't give it importance. Some scholars, associations are very, very important. That what we study in our Vedic and Vedantic darshan, the Sanatan Dharma. You understand me? Like Brahma Vidya, the 4 lifestyles, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas. And such kind of lifestyles, I don't think exist with any religions. Such kind of systematic lifestyles, I don't think exist in the particular, except the Vedic tradition, Sanatana Dharma. I'm not speaking about Hindu. I'm not speaking about anything. I'm not speaking Hindu. I'm speaking Sanatana Dharma. The origin, the unique culture in the world before any religions, right? Before any religions. Sanatana Dharma, the very beginning, Sanatana Dharma, that is before I say that, the four Arya and Anarya and Dravidian civilizations. Aryan civilizations relate to Vedic cultures. Anarya, eat and sleep and enjoy and die. And like you have to born and die, and then gone. So experience all kind of happiness and difficulties and all these things. Then society or family, it depends what kind of family was born as well. What kind of family were born, right? So three things are very important. Important of your karma, actions, and that is called reservoir. Karma, reservoir means where the storehouse of the karma. The storehouse of the karma, that is called karma sraya. So again, remember, the storehouse of your karma, the storehouse of your suffering, storehouse of the miseries. What is that? The country was born, the society, and the associations, the family you was born. That is three things are very responsible. For example, today, I'm giving one example. You see, many parts of the world today have so much war. And even you have already experienced the war in Europe as well. And also we are experiencing in India, many civilizations comes and conquer a country. Many civilizations came, right? English Empire come, Mughal Empire comes, like Muslim, the Mughal Empire comes. Many, like, for example, English Empire, like Dutch colony, French colony. We have many colonies in India as well. So what I mean, and in ancient time, we can study many kind of empire comes. And they want to try to destroy this culture. So that is also a part of that samskaraj. And you are born in Second World or First World War in the Europe. You also, because you are born there, you are suffering as well due to country. But today you see that the Middle East, the people suffering there as well. If you are born this time in the Middle East, you are also suffering as well. So countries also, that is called karma sraya. Karma sraya. The society, what kind of family you are born? What kind of family? If you are born the family of the butchers, right? Killing the animals to eat the meat, for example. So what do you learn? You are also learning to be butcher, right? Butcher, like killing. So what I mean here, this is one of the examples just I'm giving. So it's very important. The family was born. It is very important what kind of guru you have, what kind of masters you have on the spiritual path as well. What kind of family? So we see that in Vedic cultures, among the all samskaras, among the also the Vedic culture, the sannyas dharma is the highest. In order to attain the Brahmajnana, many people, we are so much afraid to have sannyas guru or to walk path of sannyas. We are so much afraid, so much fear, so much insecurity. But of course, if you have the sannyas guru, so what happening? The sannyas walking the path of Brahmajnana and he helping you always. Doesn't matter what kind of difficulties you have, doesn't matter what kind of samskara you, but a sannyas guru, a Brahmanista guru, always going to help you. Not 100%, but 101%. Getting out of your difficulties. That's what I experienced in my life. So I personally walking the path of the Brahmajnana, the path of sannyas. But sometimes people, out of their personal desires, personal expectations, they may not walk path of, they may not walk with me due to their personal difficulties. But I'm pretty sure, and anyone walk the path of Brahmagyan and path of sannyas, path, so that he may not being a monk, being a sannyas, but when he walk with the along with the guru of the sannyas or Brahmagyan, so one day, this life, next life, another life, someday. So you're getting out of the karmas. Karmasraya, you're getting out of the karmasraya, the storehouse of karmas. Then we can and free from the samskaraj. Samskar. Now I'm speaking samskaraj. Not only the miseries, not only sufferings, not only karmas, the samskaraj. And as every fruit is connected with the tree and every tree is the roots, so birth, as connected with life, we see is the results of the past karmas. You say, as every fruit is connected with the tree and every tree is the roots, so birth are connected with life. We see the results of the past karma. Similarly, karmasraya is the dependent on the root of afflictions. It's a storehouse of the karma. It's depend the root of these sufferings. If the fruiting is to be stopped, then the tree must be destroyed. And for this is the roots, that is the afflictions, must be cut off. So those who know the theory of reincarnation have said that whatever work we do leaves behind an impression. So if you know the incarnations, they say those who know the theory of incarnations, that means if you know the root cause of the reincarnations, what happening? They said whatever work you do leaves behind an impression. Impression means is a memory. It is a karmas. And the stock of these impression is called karmasraya. The impression means memory, that we study smriti, not the smriti. Smriti means the knowledge of revelations. Smriti means memory. So whatever do, it stays as smriti, the memories, the impression of the past, and that leads to all the way to storehouse of your karmas and samskaras and miseries. So this much today. We may speak about this story in future. So therefore, we have to learn how we can free from the storehouse of the karmas, the store of the samskaras, and then we can free from the storehouse afflictions for the future. But honestly, as per my own experience, as per the experience many gurus and saints and sages, one of the is the top job to walk on the path of spirituality and to be free from, but it is not also difficult. It's not easy, but it's not also impossible. It is also possible. Like Lord Buddha, he was sitting on a tree and meditating. And at the end of the day, he worked out how to liberate himself and free from the all karmas, the root cause of all sufferings. That the first enlightenments, Lord Buddha said. So what is enlightenment? But to know the root cause of sufferings and becoming free, the root cause of all miseries, all miseries. So let we pray today, Divine Mother, Mother Parasakti, Lord Shiva, and to pray to all gurus, walk on the path of Brahmagyan. Not we pray to the gurus who bring us sufferings more and more and playing the black magics and all this that due to their selfishness. No. So we don't for them. We pray those who bring the beautiful knowledge of Brahmagyan and who liberate us. And again we pray to them, wherever there exists, bless us in order to attain the Brahmagyan and to know the root cause of our sufferings and karmas and the storehouse of the karmas and samskars. Let us free and attain that eternal peace and attain the eternal love, the compassion. Om Sankaram Sankaracharyam Isavam Badarayanam Sutrabhasakritam Vande Bhagavanto Punaha Punaha Ismara Gararatmeti Murti Veda Vihagini व्योमवद् व्याप्तदेहाय श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ गुरुभ्यो नमः। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृतोर्मा अमृतंगमय। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। So thanks to all. So our Gurudev Swami Sivanand bless you all. Thank you.